Hey guys, how you doing? It's Kyle Hollering with the KW Alliance Group. Hope you're having a great start to 2025, actually. Today I'm joined by Jennifer Shah out of our KW Loudoun Gateway office. Hey Jen.
Hey Kyle, how you doing?
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
I know I'm not supposed to talk about timing because it can date the video, but we're here in the start of the new year.
Kicking off of 2025.
Exactly, and that's what I feel. So how's the start to your year going so far?
Pretty good. I had my first settlement last week of the year, which was really great. Some clients that are relocating to Virginia, so selling them on all the great things that we have to offer here.
Very good.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the year?
I am excited about the year.
What are you excited about?
I'm excited about the possibility of helping more people. I feel that there's a lot of changes in our area, and I think that's going to bode well for our business overall.
Right.
I have a goal of helping 24 families this year. That was my goal last year. I didn't quite hit it, but I did pretty good. So nice. I was happy with that. But my goal is, how can I serve my clients? Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're investing, whether you need recommendations for painters, contractors, whatever.
All those types of things.
Yes.
January is typically a big month. People think about goals a lot. Kind of all turn the page on the calendar. We start thinking about what we want this year to look like for us. How do you set goals? You just said 24 was your goal last year. You came very close to it. Set that goal again this year. Do you just pull that number out of thin air, or how do you do that?
I just based on the balance of my life in terms of my coach gave me this great analogy. We came up with this last year. Your life is like a three-legged stool. And those three legs, depending on what they are to keep you upright, it's your business, your joy, and your financial responsibility. And if you can keep those three things upright, you're doing pretty good. So for me, averaging out, if I back it up, 24 deals a year would be two deals per month. 2 to 3 deals per month is great because I can still have time with my kids. I can have time with my friends, maybe take a trip someplace on a quick weekend, and I can still do that. So I feel like that's a good number for me.
That's a good visual. I think that's one of the things we keep talking about within our companies, right? Which is something similar. I've been saying a lot this year already, do less, better.
Yes.
And I think that some of that has to do with what you just said, which is, we need to continue to find joy and enjoy what we do every day.
Right.
And this business has been a little bit busy the last couple of years with the market kind of being down and rates being up and lawsuits, et cetera. So I love that. I think that's one of the things people have lost focus on a little bit, is kind of keeping their joy. So what was it? You said joy, financial status.
And your joy and your business and your finances to keep that cycle of joy and business.
Do you find any one of the three to be harder to keep steady on the ground?
Yes, the financial piece, because I like to be doing the outgoing, outward facing things.
Right.
So the back office stuff are the things I need to better myself at.
Right. It's taking off that salesman hat, put on the business hat sometimes, right? And like really making sure that you're looking at your books, looking at your business.
Yep. And I'm very blessed. I have a great team of people to help me out. I have a bookkeeper and people that help me with that as well. But so that has helped me a lot.
That's great. So I know we said at the start you're in the KW Loudoun Gateway office. What areas of Virginia do you serve?
So I live in the Los Island area in Sterling. So I know I've lived there for 30 years, and I know that area quite well, inside and out. Los Island, Cascades, countryside. I know Ashburn, Leesburg, further in western Loudoun, such as Purcellville, Round Hill, Hamilton areas, and then further east, I know Herndon, Reston, Fairfax. That's my wheelhouse. I feel very confident that I know those areas as well.
Yep.
If there's something further closer to DC or maybe a little further out, sometimes I like to refer it out, but it just depends on the circumstance.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was driving around Ashburn, Sterling the other day, looking at the big data centers. So talk to me. You've lived there for 30 years. Los Island, I'm assuming, is one of the older neighborhoods, original neighborhoods in that area.
Yep.
Beautiful neighborhood, by the way. What's it been like watching that whole area grow over the past 30 years?
It's very interesting because it's changing. It's just changing the topography of the land, and I lose my way around in Ashburn some days because I'm like, wait a minute, this is just like a tunnel of data centers now.
Right.
And there are a lot of people that are. Some people, doesn't matter, no skin off their nose for whatever reason. Some folks really dislike it. So it's a matter of which clients really want nothing to do with it, which some they don't bother.
Yeah.
It's not bother to them at all.
I'm always just surprised. I usually get off an exit and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize all this was down here, right? But just such a new area, a lot of things going on, a lot of restaurants, a lot of things to do. So it's a fun area. I mean, there's a lot happening.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of outdoor entertainment. I mean, I'm a big outdoor person, so I like to typically start my day or end my day by taking a decent walk around my neighborhood for a couple miles and just to soak up sun and fresh air.
Yep.
But we have the Potomac River nearby. We have Great Falls Park. We have parks in Leesburg.
Right.
So many outdoor things that I like to take place.
It's funny when people talk about moving to this area, whether it be Virginia, Maryland, one of the benefits is we have the beach a couple hours away. We have the mountains a couple hours away. I actually think you guys in Ashburn are like perfectly located to have like DC right there with all the stuff going on in the city.
Yep.
Can jump on a metro. At the same time, you guys can be out in the vineyards or in the mountains within 30 minutes.
We're very blessed to live here. I mean, I popped down to DC a couple weeks ago just to do a museum on a random Friday.
Yep.
I mean, we're very lucky where we live.
That's cool. What do you do for fun? I love that. So you went to a museum. What else do you do for fun?
So one of my big loves is jazzercise. People laugh. They think of leg warmers, but it's not about that.
Okay. Get your blood flowing.
Get your blood flowing. It's good. It's good therapy. It's good cheap therapy with a sisterhood of friends. But it's just to keep moving. I have a goal of starting to learn to dance a little bit more. Maybe do some swing dance. Maybe we'll see.
Very cool.
But I do that. I like to travel. Love to read. I've always got a couple different books going at any particular time.
There you go. Very nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's jazzercise. We have dance parties nightly in my household with all my little ones. So
I love it.
Get the heart rate up.
Yeah.
I get that.
Just get some Pink Pony Club and just let loose in your kitchen.
Just rock and roll. Great. So this year, 24 families.
Yes.
What do you enjoy about real estate? Why did you get into this industry?
So my background's in marketing and sales. I graduated from college with a marketing and sales degree, and wasn't sure what that would look like. And I wore a number of different hats. I worked in medical coding book sales for a while, and I feel like, backing up further than that, my dad was in the grocery business, and that was my first taste of working with the public. When I was 15, I started in my dad's business, and we had our regular customers, and we learned a lot about customer service at that place.
I'm sure you did.
And I feel like I have a pretty good gift of gab and to represent myself and a company well. And I love what I do. And my background of working in marketing, and I did some substitute teaching for a while, being in front of kids, worked in business development. So I think everything that I've done in my various careers and different jobs have led to making me whole as a real estate agent. Because I love my marketing background. I like to make something look pretty and help present a house and get it out to the public. I love working with customers, and that service, that's a big thing. Okay, right. I'm going to do everything I can to make this as seamless of a process as I can for you.
Right. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think coming off the holidays especially, I always think about, sometimes when we're busy throughout the year and just moving and inactivity and closing transactions in the spring and summer, you kind of forget like how much a house means to somebody and gives them a place to come home to and have, safety and enjoy the holidays. And so I always think about, all the sales we do throughout the year kind of are summed up around the holidays, where I hope people are just enjoying those spaces that they're kind of currently using.
Yep.
Feel the same way?
I do.
Yeah.
One of my things I started doing a few years ago is all the folks I've helped buy a place over that particular year, I get a little custom-made Christmas ornament with the name and, first Christmas in our new home.
Very cool.
With their name in the year. And it makes me feel really good when I'll just drop it off with like a little bottle of bubbly or something, and I get the text and they show me it on their tree, and it just makes me feel really good. So
love that.
Yeah, make a house a home.
One thing that we talk about and we've been focused on, especially the last couple of years going on, is like really creating a value proposition for yourself, right? And I think the end of the era for realtors just being involved at the transaction is coming to an end. I think we have too much value throughout the life cycle of a home to just show up every 8 weeks, every 10 years, basically, right?
Right.
And so what do you see as your value proposition? Has it changed at all, do you feel like, in the last few years? Or are you still, focused on customer service, that being the leading, factor of your business? Is it still working? And is there anything you're looking to maybe change or adjust as we continue to move forward?
So I want to be a resource to my clients, whether or not they're in the market to buy or sell at that moment or not. If, I have a client from a few years ago that they're like, hey, Jen, I want to update my bathroom. Who do you know?
Right.
I want to be an ongoing relationship, and and my goal this year is to do more experiences to be in front of clients, whether it's, hey, I'm going to do a pop-up happy hour. Let's just get a bunch of clients together, previous clients and friends together, and hang out.
Right.
I want to be able to see them. I want to know what's going on in your family. I want to know what your kids are up to. And I want to be a resource.
I love that. I think a lot of us have financial advisors, and I think that's a similar model that we're kind of talking about here that we could follow a little bit, which is it's not just a one-time, 7 weeks, we're setting up your financial plan and that's it. Things happen all the time, right? Kids are born, kids graduate college, people get married, people get divorced. There's all sorts of things that happen in people's lives. So it sounds like kind of you're becoming a little bit of a home advisor where you're talking to them consistently and trying to find ways to bring value all the time.
That's my goal, is to be there, to be a resource and to help people. Whether it's a first time home buyer, and I've had been blessed by having referrals of, hey, my kids are ready to buy now. Will you be able to help them? Absolutely. And I love that because I love that education piece.
Right.
And, I've got books and materials to say, okay, here, read this. We'll have questions. And whatever you have, I've got people for you.
Right.
One of the best compliments I just got recently was from my client we settled last week, and they were relocating from California and didn't know anybody in the area, was referred by another friend. And as we were doing the walkthrough prior to settlement, he goes, I just got to tell you, I'm just so grateful. You have such a great team. All the people that you connected me with, your home inspector was great. The lender we connected with was great. The insurance person, Olivia, was wonderful. Cindy, your transaction coordinator is great.
Right.
You just have a really great team. And that made me feel really good because it's true. Who we work with matters. And here at KW, we have so many good people to back us up, to make us look good.
I love that too, because so many people like yourself, right? Basically, you run a solo agent business.
Yes, I do.
Which means you wear a lot of hats. And your background in marketing and sales and working in your dad's grocery store is sometimes like the package that we see of like the characteristics you need to be successful in this business. Because we know people that can lead gen, right, and can generate leads, but when they go on the appointment, they're not connecting with people, they don't build rapport, right? And so I think that's an interesting way to think about it is you brought all those things together at the right time and that business is there.
Well, it's being cognizant of what's going on in their life too and how to talk to them. Whether they're selling a house to relocate, you can kind of read people, how are they doing with this? Is this going to be a challenging time for them? You have to handle people with kid gloves depending on what they're going through. And be patient. It's not just about getting to the finish line. It's getting to the finish line with compassion and having grace to handle whatever comes at you with what they're going through.
That's interesting. I know a lot of agents, work with a lot of people. When you just said patience and compassion, I think those are actually two words that describe you very well.
Thank you.
Is that natural? Is that something you've like worked on and thought about? Because it does, conversations that we have, I always feel like you're present in the conversation, you're listening, providing good feedback. Is that something, is that a skill that you actually like work on, or is that just your natural ability and something that works well for you?
I think maybe I was gifted with a little bit of that, but I have worked on it a lot over the years to be better at it.
Yeah, love that.
Thank you.
I always like the stories about like where your first jobs were. So what do you remember about working in a grocery store with your dad?
Oh, it was fun. It was, if you could see it like a sitcom that took place in the 80s of a small grocery store, that would kind of be it. It was my dad is a butcher, and we had, maybe a dozen employees, and I started there, ring and register and restocking shelves, and eventually when I was in college, I thought I was going to be an accountant, but I did a couple classes, I'm like, no, that's not for me, but I helped my dad do books for a while, just how to handle people, and how to talk to people, and how to service people,
Yeah. That's really interesting. I like that. That's fun. This year, 24 families.
Yes.
Big goal.
Yes.
We have a lot of agents that watch the different episodes and things like that. What are your main lead gen mechanisms? So you said Sphere. I heard you say like micro events, getting your people together. So I'm assuming Sphere based is a big one.
Sphere based is very good. I'm working on my neighborhood, where I live in Rhode Island, and I'm trying to do a better job of creating events to contact with them. I do a lot of marketing. I do about 1,000 to 2,000 flyers about every quarter. I'm working on getting better at sending those out and keeping people informed. I want my neighbors to be a resource that they can.
I was going to say, what's on those newsletters? Like, what's the
talks
what's
about
the point?
What's being sold in the neighborhood. I just dropped 2,000 postcards about all the properties that have sold in November and December. And again, there's been nothing on the market. Like, here's what's active, only 2. Here's what's closed in 2 months, which were like 5 or 6. And nothing is current. Like, which I've got facts for you right here. Here's concrete details. People want to buy it in our neighborhood. Can I help you get your house ready? So I do that, and I want to do client events more frequently. I've done shred events, and 123 Junk is another great vendor that we use, and they have helped out with doing community events like, hey, bring your stuff in. I got a taco truck. I got 123 Junk. Come out for a couple hours and drop off stuff. So I want to be more of a resource in my neighborhood. So that has served me well, and I do a lot of open houses for myself and other clients.
Good.
So my Sphere, my open houses, my neighborhood, just referrals.
I think that's a really good business. I was listening to another podcast the other day, and it was actually talking about agents that are focusing on neighborhoods or niches right now seem to be having a lot more success than people that are trying to be too much to too many people.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to do is get back to basics. Like, there's so much lead gen, and I'm not a smile and dial person. That's never been my thing, and I want to have a reason for my goal is to reach out to so many people per day and have a legitimate conversation and stay in touch. and some days get away from you, so you can't do that all the time, but you just do what you can.
Yeah, but I think you're passionate about your area, right? You're
Yeah.
passionate about your neighborhood. Why would people be moving to Lowe's Island, Sterling, Ashburn? What's your pitch for that territory?
It's in the center of everything, just like what you said. I mean, I feel the same way. You could be to the beach. I've done that a handful of times with my daughters. Like, okay, let's go to we have 24 hours. Let's go to the beach. We'll drive to Rehoboth early in the morning and come back the same day. You can't do that very many places. We have DC is great. I took myself down to a show, saw the Tina Turner show in DC a couple weekends ago. I mean, fantastic Broadway shows. It's fantastic. And then having the mountains. We're in the middle of everything. Great schools, great shopping.
How is the Silver Line? Have you seen any sort of expansion with the Metro line, like running all the way out to Dulles? Has that changed anything in terms of transportation, or not make as big of an impact as people thought it would?
For Western Loudoun, it depends on people's work obligations and experiences. Hasn't affected my clients as much as I thought it might.
Right. I'm just wondering, with some of the, bringing federal workforce back into the office again, like whether we see that start to become a thing, or if not. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, no crystal ball, but it'll be interesting to see. I think, and again, no crystal ball, but I think we're going to see a lot more homes coming on the market in Western Loudoun of people moving either out of the area or moving closer to DC.
Closer back in because they have to work. I was reading something today that said the toll road can be like $100 each way, each day, depending on what time you hit it. So I'm with you. I think there's some people that maybe moved out, and although changing of jobs is never a good thing for anybody, that transaction can be beneficial to our industry sometimes, right?
Right.
Yeah. Very good. Who's your biggest kind of mentor idol? Who is somebody that you kind of think about when you need positivity in your brain?
Wow. Real estate related or not?
No, maybe not.
Gosh. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Zig Ziglar is a big one. You can't get anywhere you want without helping people get what they want.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's give and take.
Right.
It's paying it forward.
Right.
I'm very active in my church. That means a lot to me. I've got a really great church family.
Good.
That's important to me. But Zig Ziglar is one that I've listened a lot to. I'm doing a lot of Mel Robbins listening these days.
Yeah, Mel's on fire right now, isn't she?
She's super on fire.
Yeah,
I just
she is.
listened to one from her. And but I've got great people around me. I mean, I work with some great people, and I mean, the agents and friends in our office, if anybody needs anything or if I need something, I just have to call somebody, hey, have you done this?
Right.
It's lifting each other up.
Well, I think you nailed it there. I think it's community. I think we need more of that right now. And whether that's coming from your church, and I think probably like you, having multiple circles of community is a good thing. Because then depending on what's going on, you can lean on one versus the other. But yeah, I'm proud of our community, and I feel the same way. There's days like where I want to come into our market centers and like see everybody because I need that energy.
It lifts you up.
And to your point, like joy is one of those three staples, right? So
can't do anything without joy.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. It's great to learn a little bit more about you.
Thank you, Kyle.
And if anyone needs to get referrals over to Jen, where can people find you? Do you have social? You want IG?
You can find me on Facebook,
where you at?
Jennifer Shaw Real Estate on Facebook, or you can find my Instagram, Jenny Shaw.
Jenny Shaw.
Yep.
Okay, at Jenny Shaw.
At Jenny Shaw.
All right, we'll go ahead and link those in the notes underneath the YouTube video, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.